Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. Hare Krishna everyone. So today we will be reading from Canto 4, Chapter 12, Text 7. And the title of the chapter is Dhruva Maharaj Goes Back to Godhead. So we'll recite the verse. Vrinihi kamam ripayan manogatam matastum autan pade vishankitaha varam varahom bhujanabhapadayor anantaram tvam vayam angashushruma vrinihi kamam ripayan manogatam matastum autan pade vishankitaha varam varahom bhujanabhapadayor anantaram tvam vayam angashushruma vrinihi kamam ripayan manogatam matastvam autan pade vishankitaha varam varahom bhujanabhapadayor anantaram tvam vayam angashushruma. Prabhuji. Matastam autan pade vishanta varam varahom bhujanabhapadayor anantaram tvam vayam angashushruma. Vrinihi kamam ripayan manogatam matastam autan pade vishankitaha varam varahom bhujanabhapadayor anantaram tvam vayam angashushruma. Vrinihi kamam ripayan manogatam matasvam autan pade vishankitaha varam varahom bhujanabhapadayor anantaram tvam vayam angashushruma. Mataji. Vrinihi kamam ripayan manogatam matastam autan pade vishankitaha varam varahom bhujanabhapadayor anantaram tvam vayam angashushruma. Now we'll read word to word. Vrinihi, please ask. Kamam, desire. Nripa, O king. Yat, whatever. Manaha gatam, within your mind. Mataha, from me. Tvam, you. Autan pade, O son of Maharaj Uttanapad, Avishankitaha, without hesitation, Varam, benediction, Vara Araha, worthy to take benedictions, Ambuja, lotus flower, Nabha, whose navel, Padayoho, at his lotus feet, Anantaram, constantly, Tvam, about you, Vayam, we, Anga, dear Dhruva, Shushruma, have heard. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Swami Srila Bhakti Srila Prabhupada. My dear Dhruva Maharaj, son of Maharaj Uttanapad, we have heard that you are constantly engaged in transcendental loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known for his lotus navel. You are therefore worthy to take all benedictions from us. Please therefore ask without hesitation whatever benediction you want from me. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Dhruva Maharaj, the son of King Uttanapad, was already known throughout the universe as a great devotee of the Lord, constantly thinking of his lotus feet. Such a pure, uncontaminated devotee of the Lord is worthy to have all the benedictions that can be offered by the demigods. He does not have to worship the demigods separately for such benedictions. Kuvera is a treasurer of the demigods, and he is personally offering whatever benediction Dhruva Maharaj would like to have from him. Srila Bilva Mangal Thakur stated, therefore, that for persons who engage in the devotional service of the Lord, all material benedictions wait like maid servants. Mukti Devi is just waiting at the door of the devotee to offer liberation, or more than that, at any time. To be a devotee is therefore an exalted position. Simply by rendering transcendental loving service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can have all the benedictions of the world without separate endeavor. Lord Kuvera said to Dhruva Maharaj that he had heard that Dhruva was always in samadhi or thinking of the lotus feet of the Lord. In other words, he knew that for Dhruva Maharaj there was nothing desirable within the three material worlds. He knew that Dhruva would ask for nothing but to remember the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord constantly. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadami Swapadantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Srimati Mahavishnu Goswami Namine Namine Mudra Chanaminda Pracharine Mahavishnu Goswami Namine. So we'll be discussing from this verse today some points to take away and see how we can implement this in our life. So over here, the translation, I'll read it again. My dear Dhruva Maharaj, son of Maharaj Uttanapad, we have heard that you are constantly engaged in transcendental loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known for his lotus navel. You are therefore worthy to take all benedictions from us. Please therefore ask without hesitation whatever benediction you want from me. So Dhruva Maharaj is constantly engaged in the devotional service of the Lord under the guidance of his spiritual master, Narad Muni. And because he has taken the process of devotional service, he is totally purified. There is no contamination in him. But in due course of time, we have seen that Dhruva Maharaj also engaged in the fight with the yakshas. And why was he fighting with the yakshas? Because his brother Uttama was killed by one of the yakshas. And that was a reason that he wanted to destroy the whole yaksha clan. But what happened? Swambhuva Manu, his grandfather came and he instructed Dhruva Maharaj to stop killing. And when he was instructed, Dhruva Maharaj took these instructions to his heart and immediately, without even thinking twice, he stopped killing. So what does this show? This shows Dhruva Maharaj's great obedience to his grandfather. And then, who is a chief of the Yakshas? Kuvera. And in few verses before this, in second verse, Kuvera says that, I'm very glad to know that under the instruction of your grandfather, you have given up your enmity, although it is very difficult to avoid. So, because he had given up this enmity, which is difficult to avoid, he has pleased Kuvera. And over here, therefore, Kuvera also is very happy to hear that Dhruva Maharaj is constantly engaged in the lotus feet of the Lord. And that has pleased Kuvera. And because Kuvera is pleased, he now wants to give benediction to Dhruva Maharaj. Mango kya mangte ho? What do you desire to have? Whatever you desire, I'll give the benediction. So just imagine if Kuvera comes right in front of us over here. What do you think we will desire? Lotto, yes. This is what? Very true, Prabhuji. Even I would be desiring for mountain gold of gold coins, mountain full of gold coins, few $billion, some houses, some big cars, isn't it? This is what we will desire for. But over here, Dhruva Maharaj is telling that, what he desires is, Kuvera also knows very well that he's done away with this material desires. So even if we desire for all these things, they are all material. From Brahmalok to Patal-lok, if we desire any material things, we know from the scriptures that nothing is going to remain forever. Dhan, daulat, all these material possessions, is it going to remain forever? Yes or no? It's going to go away because everything in this material world is temporary. Everything is going to get destroyed in due course of time. Our body will also be destroyed in due course of time. So then how will we keep all these material possessions with us? So what we should aspire then? We should aspire for the eternal thing, one eternal thing, which is not going to get destroyed, even if the body is gone. So what is that one thing which will take us after the body is gone? It is only devotional service to the Lord. So in Bhagavad Gita 2.40, Krishna says, Neha bhi kramana naso asti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpa api dharmasya trayato mahato bhayat. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. So what is that most dangerous type of fear? To come into the material world, to be into the vicious circle of birth and death. In the vicious circle, we get entangled into birth and death. That is the greatest type of fear. So therefore, when Kuvera wants to give some benediction to Dhruva Maharaj is only wanting to have unceasing devotional service to the Lord. Though Kuvera knows that, I will not be, he knows very well that Dhruva will not ask for any material benediction because he has done away with those things. But still he wants to give benediction. So therefore, sometimes when we take blessings from our seniors, we should always know that even though if that person doesn't have the capacity to give benediction or blessings, still because he has the good wishes, because he is pleased, Krishna will fulfill to give that benediction to us. The desires are something which is like the incessant waves in the ocean. It comes and goes, isn't it? One desire comes and another desire comes. One will go, another will come. Now, if the aroma of some prasadam comes right now, what will happen? We will have the desire to eat prasadam. If we go outside, we see the big billboards. What are the billboards saying? Come, buy me. So the desire will creep into us. So as long as we have this material body, we are bound to have desires. Nobody will be desireless. Anybody over here? Raise your hands if you don't have any desire. Anybody? We all have desires. But the desires have to be purified. Now that desire which we have, if we align to the desire of Krishna, then that is worth having the desire. Now, how do we know that our desire and Krishna's desire is aligned? How do we know that? Now, for example, we just had the Janmashtami festival. Yes, we were all there for the Janmashtami festival. We all came over here and then we were delegated some service to do. And when we did that service, when we cooperated with everyone, and then we heard that it was a grand success. The Janmashtami was a grand success. What does it show? Our desire and the desire of Krishna aligned together. And that's how it became a success. On the other hand, if we are endeavoring to do some service, but somehow or other we are not able to do it, what does that show? That Krishna must be having some better plans for us. So the desire also, what we have, we actually don't know what is correct desire for us. If Krishna had to come over here and he would tell us, what do you want? We would be thinking, what do I want? Do I want this? Do I want that? Or shall I ask this? Because we are not, we don't know what to ask the Lord. And from the scriptures again, if you see the story of Chitraketu. Chitraketu was destined to not have any children. He had 10 million wives. But he had a desire to have a child. And when Angira Muni came, he insisted to get a benediction of a child. And because of his insistence, Angira Muni blessed that he will have a child, but the child will be the source of both lamentation and joy. He desired, and he had the son. And what happened? because the king Chitraketu was now giving more time to the son and to the wife who had delivered the son, he was spending more time with that queen. And then what happened to the other queens? Envy, jealous. That is the part of the material world. When something good happens to a person, other people are envious. And because of that enviousness, what happened? The son was poisoned and he died. So the desire to have a child, he had the desire, he had the child, but it brought him both joy as well as lamentation. So therefore, we have to be very careful of what we desire. Because when we are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, the mantra has the potency to fulfill our desires. Yes, the mantra has the desire to, has a potency to fulfill the desire. So therefore, if you come to devotional service, everything you will get. Name, fame, money, everything, opulence you will be getting. Then why is it that people don't take to this devotional service? Yes, you call them for programs, you call them to the temple, they have hundreds of excuses to give. Samay nahi hai, we don't have time. Or because even people think that Krishna's name is Hari. If Krishna's name is Hari means, Hari, what does a Hari name denote? Har lenge, chhin lenge. Krishna is going to take away things from us. So we should not go to Krishna. Many people think like that. So let's go to other Devi Devtas. But I was listening to one of the lectures by His Grace Govind Prabhu, and he was mentioning that the main reason for not coming to devotional service is because many lifetimes we have been doing 4 activities very nicely. And what are those 4 activities? Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. We have done that very nicely and we are very expert in doing it. But in our previous lives, we have not taken to devotional service. And that's why in this life, it is very difficult to come to devotional life. We know that we are spirit soul. So what is the constitution of the spirit soul? Jibero Shorup Hoy Krishnero Nityo Das. The constitution of the spirit soul is to love and serve the Lord. But we have turned our face off Krishna. And it is very difficult to take to this devotional process. That's why we can't take it, because we have not practiced. So therefore, we have to make extra endeavor to practice this devotional service. Somehow or the other, we have to take the chanting beat. Somehow or the other, we have to come to the temple to see the Lord. Somehow or the other, we have to read the books, even if we don't like it. Somehow or the other, we have to come to the association of the devotees. And therefore, over here, Prabhupada mentions that one should not worship the demigod separately. One need not have to worship the demigod separately. Why? Because everything Krishna is giving us. Krishna will supply everything to us. And in the previous purport also, it is in the purport, Prabhupada writes that all the demigods are like the hands and legs of Krishna. So if they are there in Krishna, then why do we have to go to the demigods? We can go to Krishna directly, no? Isn't it? Because he is going to fulfill all our wishes. So in Bhagavad Gita 7.16, it says, Chatur vidha bhajante mam, jana sukritan arjuna, arto jignasur artharti, jnani cha bharatarsava. So there are 4 kinds of people, pious people who come to Krishna for benediction. Artho means
who is distressed. Gajendra was distressed. He came to Krishna. Artarthi, desirer for wealth. What are we now discussing about? Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj came to Krishna to want wealth. Then Jignasur, inquisitive, Shaunakadi Rishi, and Gyani, the 4 Kumaras. They all came, they did devotional service, they called the Lord only to get certain things. And Krishna also fulfilled their needs. Yeah. So Dhruva Maharaj, when he was purified also, and when he did not want any wealth, what did Krishna give him? He gave him the planet Dhruvalok to rule. Then we see Sudama Brahman. He was also a pure devotee of the Lord, the friend of Krishna. He went to Krishna only with a handful of chipped rice. And what did Krishna give in return? Full of opulence. He did not even know that, Krishna is going to give me opulence. Without his knowing, when he went back to his house, he was amazed to see that, his house was full of jewels. His wife, she used to be in a tattered clothes, but then he saw his wife, she was so beautiful. She, her clothes with opulent clothes, opulent ornaments. This is what happened. And when we hear the story of Bali Maharaj, what did Vamandev asked Bali Maharaj? He asked only 3 footsteps of land as charity. Because Bali Maharaj was a ruler of the entire universe. And Vamandev, with 2 footsteps, he covered the whole universe. And the 3rd footstep, he said, where do I keep the 3rd footstep? And what did Bali Maharaj do? Atma Nivedanam. He gave his full self to Krishna. And Krishna, he told that you keep your 3rd foot on my head. And Krishna was very, very pleased. And he made Bali Maharaj the ruler of Sutal planet. And he himself took the responsibility of becoming the doorman in that Sutal planet. So this is the opulence which Krishna is giving. So why should we be scared of taking devotional service? And at the end of Bhagavad Gita, the end verse in chapter 18, verse number 78, Krishna says, the verse says, Yatra Yogeshwaro Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, Tatra Sri Vijayo Bhuti Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Wherever there is Krishna, the all mystic, and wherever there is Arjun, the supreme archer, there will be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. So if we do devotional service, these 4 things will come to us automatically. What are those? Opulence, extraordinary power, victory, and morality. But then people, when they want to become famous in this material world, what do? They will go and join the movies to become a big star, or any sports club, or any political party, because they want to become famous. Did Dhruva Maharaj advertise himself to become famous? He didn't do any advertisements, right? But he became famous among all the demigods. Why? Because he was doing devotional service, and that's why he was known to all the demigods. And that's why Kuvera, the treasurer of the demigods, wanted to give him benediction. So by just taking little steps to Krishna, Krishna is giving everything without any hesitation. So therefore, even we see that, Dhruva Maharaj was very obedient to his grandfather Swambhu Manu, and because of that obedience, Kuvera was very pleased. And that is what we have to learn, that we have to also be obedient to our spiritual master, to the senior devotees, to the authorities. If we show our obedience, then definitely the devotees, the authorities, our spiritual master is pleased, and Krishna is also pleased by this act of obedience. And then over here, Srila Bilva Mangal Thakur says that for persons who engage in the devotional service of the Lord, all material benedictions wait like maid servants. They're waiting, Mukti Devi is waiting. So when a devotee takes to the devotional service, liberation is waiting at the door. And then Prabhupada writes over here that to be a devotee is therefore an exalted position. Why is it an exalted position to be a devotee? Because the devotee gives everything to the service of the Lord. Rishikena Rishikesha, he engages all his senses to please the master of the senses, Sri Krishna. He doesn't think much about himself. Therefore, in the prayer of, in the song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says, Kita janmo how ash jatho tuva das. Even if even if I be born as a worm, so long as I remain your devotee, I'm ready to be born as a worm in the stool. That is what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. That is his mood. So we must always aspire. We are all aspiring devotees, right? We are not at that level, but at least we can aspire that Krishna, please engage me in your loving devotional service. And even if we fall back, even if we make mistakes, we have, and if the authorities are there to correct us, then with folded hands, we should accept those corrections. Because as human beings, we are bound to make mistakes. The 4 things we are bound to commit. That is, MICS, which is like, we will always make mistakes. We will always be in illusion. We have the propensity to cheat others, or we will get cheated. And our senses are imperfect. So when we make mistakes and when we are corrected, we have to take it in a very healthy mood. Yes, thank you. And that is also comes into obedience. We are accepting it without flaring our ego. Because, our ego is always there, coming in front. Aise kaise bol diya? How come, this devotee is telling me like this? Why is he coming and telling me to do certain things which I'm not willing to do? But that is not obedience. Even Dhruva Maharaj could, he was a king. He could have counter-argued with Swayambhu Vamanu. He could have said many reasons that why he was killing the yakshas. But what did he do? He immediately stopped fighting. What are we learning from here? A king, he is actually abiding by the instruction of the grandfather. So who are we to say no or to argue with other people? And therefore, you will see that again in the song of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he has taught us how to approach the acharyas, in what mood we should approach the acharyas. Because we cannot get Krishna. Directly we cannot get. So we have to be the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. And when we become servant of the Lord, does that not mean to also take their instructions? So in the song, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, कृष्णा से तुम्हारो कृष्णा दीते पारो तुम्हारो शक्ति आछे तुम्हारो शक्ति आछे आमी तो कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोले आमी तो कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोले धाई तब पाछे पाछे धाई तब पाछे पाछे. So what is Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying? That Krishna is yours. Oh Vaishnava Thakur, Krishna is yours and you have the power of giving him to me. With that drop of mercy, you can give that Krishna to me. Amito Kangal, I'm a beggar. I don't have anything with me. Ami Krishna Krishna boli, I'm saying Krishna Krishna and I'm running behind you so that you, with your drop of mercy, can give Krishna to me. So in that mood, if we pray, then definitely we can actually earn that mercy from the Vaishnava Acharyas, and then they can give Krishna to us. Otherwise, we don't have any capability. I don't have any capability to talk in front of you unless it is a mercy of the Lord and mercy of the Guru that I'm sitting and talking, because on my own, I have no capacity. What can I do? So that is the exalted position of the pure devotee, that in any position Krishna keeps him. Whether he keeps him tells him to go to hell, he gives him a diseased body, he snatches away all comfort of his life. But a pure devotee will never leave to serve the Lord in whatever condition. Healthy condition, disease condition, rich condition, poor condition, whatever condition. The only thing what he wants is to love and serve the Lord. And because he's carrying Krishna in his heart, that makes him an exalted devotee. So therefore, being a devotee is not a cheap thing. People around might think, this Hare Krishna, they are just chanting and they are dancing. What are they doing? But they don't know this activity is the highest activity which they are doing. Chanting, dancing, glorifying the names of the Lord, going and distributing the books of the Lord, prasadam distribution. Who is doing? This is the highest welfare activity that the devotee is doing in today's world. In today's selfish world where people are only concerned only about their sense enjoyment. Mujhe kya milega? What am I going to get from here? If you tell people that, I remember that when I had gone back to my town, and one of my neighbors, he had asked me that, what do you do on your weekends? What is your lifestyle? So then I told him, this is what we do. We are into Krishna consciousness, and we hold Namahat at our place, and people come to our house and we have a short discourse, and I cook. I cook for around 20-25 people and we serve prasadam. And then he said, you are mad. Are you mad you are doing this activity? Only mad people do this. In the weekends, you should go and watch movies, spend time with your friends. And what are you doing here? That means you're not enjoying life. So then I told him that you won't believe the enjoyment which I'm getting from here cannot be measured with any enjoyment in the external world. With going out with friends or going and watching movies or, going here and there for doing sense enjoyment. Why? Because Krishna is giving that bliss to us. And therefore, you will see that when devotees come here for the big services for Janmashtami, waking up late at night, and full night they are doing their service, they are not tired at all. Why are they not tired? Because they are getting full bliss from the energy of the Lord. The Lord is giving full of energy. On the contrary, if that same activity you're not doing, if you're not doing devotional service, but you are going out for a picnic or anywhere, you're driving long drive, you're taking a long drive and you're going, you come back home and you feel very tired. Have you experienced that? For any activity which you're doing for your sense pleasure, you will be tired very soon. But any activity done for the service of the Lord, you will get immense pleasure and immense energy. You don't know, you'll think that, oh, I was awake till 12 o'clock midnight and I still feel energetic. Have you felt that? Anybody? Raise your hands if you have felt that. Yes? Full of energy you feel. And who is giving that energy? It's coming from the Supreme Lord. Yeah. And that's why in text 9.22 in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that I provide what he lacks and I preserve what he has. So Krishna is not going to take away anything. That is a misconception. He says that, I will provide what you lack. I'll give you what you lack and I'll preserve what you have. So how come we can say that, he's going to take away things? It is wrong to say no. So that is it. So therefore, over here also, Dhruva Maharaj, knowing that everything in the material is very, very temporary, and because he is purified, he has no contamination, he is only asking for the unceasing devotional service of the Lord. So 2 points we can take from here, from today's class. Firstly, to be obedient to sadhu, shastra, and guru. Yes. When we say sadhus, it means all the Vaishnava acharyas, the seniors, and guru and the scriptures. We have to be obedient. And secondly, we don't have to run for any benedictions. We just have to do our duty of devotional service. And just by doing devotional service, all the benedictions will automatically come. Whether we want or not, it will automatically come. Now, for example, like, when you go in the workplace also, when you are working sincerely, what is a byproduct of that? There'll be a pay rise. The salary will increase. And you will get a promotion. You have not asked for that promotion. But because you have done that sincere work, you're getting it. So same thing over here. We don't have to chase for any benedictions. But because we are doing devotional service, Krishna will automatically give us whatever we want in our life, whatever we need in our life, he will provide. Krishna's thinking is that if the wealth I give him, he will use it for devotional life, then he's going to give it to us. And if he sees that, this wealth is becoming an obstacle in his devotional life, then he's going to take it away. And he will make us more focused to devotional service. But having said that, you see the devotees over here, everybody, they have everything. In the beginning, we have seen many devotees, they come to Krishna and ask that please give me a job. Please give me something. Please give me this, give me that. And we have seen also, Krishna has fulfilled those desires. And they're very happy. And they'll come and say, Mataji, we have got a job. So very nice. Please come to the temple. So sometimes we have seen that because of that benediction, they take up the process of devotional service. And sometimes also saying that, once Krishna is fulfilled, tata, bye-bye, Krishna. That also happens. Two things happens. But Krishna is so merciful, even if we don't show our gratitude, he still doesn't leave us. He comes with us every lifetime. Even we take the bodies of any animal body, any birds, any species of life, he is still coming with us. So another takeaway is that we don't run after benedictions. We don't run after any material things. We just run after doing devotional service. And if we do devotional service, Krishna will give us everything. So thank you very much. On this note, I would like to end. And if anybody would like to add any comments. Okay, thank you so much. Yes, Mataji.
Krishna is so merciful when you do something, you want to do something for him. If you with some kind of problem, he always fulfills that. Then I feel, oh my God, he's just such a follow. When we have to do only for him, we will never ever bring any problem or anything. It will be done quickly.
Yes.
And I have seen so many in materialistic life, if you desire something, it might be a delay or something. But with his service, they will not be, for sure.
And because we are having, thank you, Mataji, for pointing that out. Yes, and because we are having those desires in our heart, and Krishna is sitting as Paramatma in our heart, and he is there to fulfill those desires. Sometimes the desires which we ask him might not be conducive also. And then you will see that is not getting fulfilled. And later on, you will come to realize that, why is it not fulfilled? Because, Krishna had some different plan. And that time you will thank Krishna that it has not got fulfilled. Have you experienced that? Sometimes the desires does not get fulfilled. And that time you will lament. But later on, you will realize, oh, thank God it did not get fulfilled. So this happens. And the more we do devotional service, the more he reciprocates. Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Krishna is so merciful. Providing when bad things happen to the great devotees, those who are having to Krishna, many bad things happen to them. Why the bad things happen to Krishna? Krishna is so merciful.
Yeah, this is a very common question, why bad things happen to good people. And I think there is the same topic today in the evening in that voice also. We are not purified. So we also carry our karmas from our previous birth. So that is the time when we go through those bad patches of life. It is for our own purification. And especially for devotees, when these things happen, it is for our own purification. When devotees go through bad patches, bad phase, some financial crisis, some health issues, it is basically to purify that devotee. Purification happens through that way. So that is a thing. And that's what Praneshwar Prabhu had also mentioned, that we get purified when these things happen. So we have to take, when bad things happen also, we have to take that in the right perspective. And we should not say, oh Krishna, why did you do this to me? Then where is the case of surrender? So Krishna sees whether you are surrendered or not. So we have to be surrendered. Surrender doesn't mean that, I'll surrender to the Lord only when the things are conducive in my life, when things are going very nicely. then Krishna, I will listen to you. Krishna also tests. He's testing us. I'll give you this small problem. Whether you'll be able to handle, whether you will remain with me or you will go somewhere else. Krishna is testing us. So, oh, I'll tell you this, yeah, bad people get success, and you will see, even from Mahabharata, you will see that, Duryodhan was doing so much bad things to the Pandavas. Krishna was there with the Pandavas, but still they were suffering. So, when I was in Vrindavan, and then I was listening to one Maharaj who was giving lecture in the Vrindavan temple. And he was mentioning this very nicely. He said that when good things happen to bad people, or, when that person is very bad and all success is coming to him, he is glorified and everything is having. So Krishna, what he does, he says that, okay, fine, you have more success. He keeps on giving him, more opulence, more success, more name, more fame. He keeps giving him all these things. And then he says that, he takes that devotee to the pitch of his success and, that fame and name and everything. He will take him to the top floor. He will not give him 2-3 slaps. That is not worth giving to that person. And he will just drop him from that top floor. And when he falls from that top floor, what will happen? He becomes a chutney. That is what he does. That is what he does. He will loosen his string. Do. Okay, come on. Keep doing. When I catch that rope in my hand, then you are gone. You are finished. That's what happened to Duryodhan also. Okay, you do. Shishupal also. You do commit mistakes. Commit, you keep doing. But I will, till 100th mistake, you can commit. As soon as it becomes 101, you are finished. So that's what is it. It is, So Krishna has his own way of doing things. And we don't know how he does things. It is inconceivable. His energy is inconceivable. He is inconceivable to understand. His way of doing things, we should not ask or challenge him or say, why this happened, why that happened. It is only he who knows. He knows everything, which is, as soon as a desire crops in our heart, he is the first person to know. Even your spouse will not know what is there in your heart. But Krishna, because he's there in the heart, he is going to know what is there in what you're desiring for. Because he's sitting as Paramatma. All right, Prabhuji. Thank you. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki.